I recently visited South Goa. So there's one part in South Goa. So one manager came out of the blue and he told about the action episodes how you shot, about the teaser especially. You know, the crescent moon becomes a full moon with that. So should we talk about the action more, since you said like it's completely laced with action and drama?
I mean, I think Saif sir has also been a part of some phenomenal action sequences we've done for this movie.
They shot some incredibly large and violent sequences, and it was great fun doing the action. It's also really raw. There were some huge pelwans from because a lot of the action is about the fights between the heads of 4 different villages that fight for the ancestral weapons, and it's kind of the sequences I shot involved, a blood sacrifice to the gods and prayer, and so it was kind of mythologically rooted as well, and then really physically demanding kind of stuff, and great action sequence. We shot a fight for about 10 days.
10 nights.
10 nights.
And we still didn't get done with it.
For another the teaser fight?
Is it in the teaser?
Yeah.
I think it's a highlight.
I think it's when you see Saif sir's glimpse.
Yeah. Part of the glimpse.
A part of the glimpse has got that action in it.
Yeah.
But
The running bit?
The running bit is also there. That was shot in.
But the mixture of shooting live in the Goan forest, some amazing locations you found, and patching that up with studio, you can't even see technically how it's done. Really well pulled off.
Would you rate this as one of your physically most enduring movies you've been a part of?
Yeah, I think it's been one of the most demanding films for sure. And as
there's a heap of weapons stuck to one mountain kind of thing. The special shot on that. So is it too much of a reveal if you talk about that?
No, I mean it's not a big reveal, but there's a lot which we've placed a lot of the story on that as well. There's no deity worship, so there is no belief in God as such. So what they believe is in
steel,
the ancestral steel.
Like Conan. They believe in.
Set in which century this is?
This have you said what time it is?
No, it is in 90s.
80s and 90s.
This is set in I mean like a little bit of the early 80s and the early 90s or the late 90s.
Okay.
So it's an 80s and 90s.
But a very remote place.
But a very remote place where I mean I see there are a lot of villages still, especially in South India also. I think it's there in North as well. That they don't worship a god as such. So there are, in Telugu we call them Grama Devatalu.
Yeah.
In Hindi,
Gram Devata.
Yeah. So it's like that. So they worship their ancestral weapons.
Yeah.
So there is no deity worship as such. So for them, that weapons are the most precious.
Okay.
I mean, and they're ready to go to any extent for those weapons.
But whatever the ritual, you understand that it's a ritual. You're bowing to something. So who you're praying to and all, I mean, it comes through that it is about prayer.
Yes.
And like a kind of tribal group, people will connect emotionally to everything that they're going through, because the basic drive is the same, whether it's greed or it's power or whether it's wanting to be the strongest or to control it. In that sense, to give an example of another film, even a film like Apocalypto, sounded like an alien setup, but then when you saw it, it's just like looking at people next door also.
Yeah, exactly.
So connection is there.
Rooted,
But it's a very interesting visual. The costumes that we wore, the clothes were really basic, and it's almost like tribal pirates, in a way.
Exactly.
This movie. So it's got its own universe, which is always nice. The kind of visual palette and your production design, Sabu sir, and you really presented something that looks stylish and watchable in terms of visually. And at the same time, emotionally, it's got the strongest score ever, because it's about all these basic emotions like fear and power and revenge. And,
I think today audiences, they're liking when you actually take them into a very fictitious world.
Cinema. So the theaters, right?
Yeah.
The lights go out. And
and then you're in that world and you don't want to come out. So it's, I think it's like, if you actually relate to Batman, Gotham is nothing but downtown Chicago, or it's Chicago.
Yeah.
But it's Gotham.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of a world play that is happening today in Indian cinema as well.
Yeah.
If you look at movies like Bahubali, or you look at movies like Kalki.
Kalki.
And in a way, even if you look at Animal, so though there are characters which are around us, but after a point of time in that film, you're just with Ranvijay. You're just in his family. You're sitting in that room in his house. So you just alienate people away from the present atmosphere and just take them into this fictitious world.
Yeah.
So I think that's 15 minutes into Devara.
Yeah.
You will be stuck in that world and you're going nowhere. You'll be there. You'll be in that world we've created.